Sheth. It is a mystery, unknown to all. I'd love to get in there and pick his brain sometime.
First of all, I'd like to ask why he plays with his keyboard on his lap.
Just habit. He probably grew up playing like that. Right?
It's kind of weird.
I'm left-handed. I play with my right hand. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I'm left-handed.
You don't play with your left hand on your mouse.
I play with my right mouse hand, and I'm left-handed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I thought you said you play with your, like you switch the keyboard and the mouse around.
No. That's like Naniwa style.
If you think about it, it's actually better, isn't it? If you put the mouse to the left of the keyboard, because then everything's compact in one area.
I mean, I'm sure it's nice, yeah. It'd be really hard to get used to, though.
Yeah.
I don't think it makes that much of a difference either way. As long as you have your hands on the right keys, like, it's not that big of a deal. But anyway, here we go, guys. We are in Game 4 here. It's going to be on Antigua Shipyard. Sheth switching colors on us. He is now the purple Zerg, and he'll be in the bottom left-hand spawn. And in the top left-hand corner, we'll have Kiwikaki, our yellow Protoss, who is currently up 2-1.
So tell me, man, what's your favorite colors?
Yellow, man.
Yeah.
Always.
So
If I can get it, I always pick yellow.
So if somebody doesn't let you pick yellow, you get pretty pissed off about that in a tournament?
I mean, orange and teal are my backups. I'll grab orange if I can't get yellow. But, yeah, man, yellow. The yellow Terran is quite powerful, if you haven't heard.
Well, I don't really have a personal color that I like or any preference or anything like that. But
You just go random?
I just go random, yeah. I let people pick the color. But if you don't get yellow, it's not going to mess up your game, is it? It's not like, oh my god.
Nah. It's just nice to have, though. It's like
Beat
a
up
little,
some
it's like a
nerds.
little comfort thing, right? It's like a little superstition. It's just like my color, you know?
Yeah.
It's like if somebody else jacks your yellow at a tournament, it's just like, oh. But I mean, at most tournaments, you have to play red-blue anyway.
Right.
So.
All right. Well, let's see what happens here. Both players getting their expansion down at the same exact time. Expansions, of course, letting you get more resources. And we have Sheth going down in the bottom left, Nexus going up at the top left, and a Forge coming out for Kiwikaki. So, Kiwi still can go right into that gateway opening where he throws down a horde of gateways, and then he just warps out a bunch of Zealot Stalkers, whatever name you have, and try to bust down the front of Sheth, and we'll see what Sheth does.
Yeah. Once again, Kiwikaki very tight at the natural, has a solid wall, and his building positioning thus far, throughout the series has been pretty interesting, but definitely solid, I would say. Good cannon positioning, always gets one cannon in the back, likes to pylon up the back as well and block the back for Zergling runarounds and stuff like that. Right. So really liking the walls thus far out of Kiwikaki.
Yeah, loving the walls. Looks like we had just a second of lag right there, but that'll be fixed up. But yeah, the walls for Kiwikaki so far have been great. I love, like you said, how he builds the pylons and the cannons behind his Nexus just to circumvent the possibility of the Zerglings running around the back, because then they'll run into the pylon or the cannon. So it's really smart so far. Good layout by Kiwikaki. It looks like Sheth will run in here with 2 Zerglings. He kills off the probe for 25 minerals for 50 minerals is pretty much worth it, man. And it looks like he's going to get a full scout, too.
Yeah, most definitely. So he knows exactly what's going on on Kiwikaki's side. Doesn't know that he has 2 gas just yet, but Sheth's been doing a great job of sending in 2 overlords at around the 6-7 minute mark just to figure out exactly what's going on, sacking 2 overlords in almost every game. The only game he didn't figure out exactly what was going on was the game on Metalopolis, which triggered him to throw down some spore crawlers and some additional defenses, and then he ended up getting those spine crawlers up at his 3rd, managed to hold, and ended up taking the game.
Yeah, it's really important to note that every single game Sheth has ran an Overlord in around the 5 to 6 minute mark, and it's pretty important to get that delayed scout in there, especially if you're Zerg, especially if you're playing against Kiwikaki.
I'd say like 7-8 minute mark. 5-6 minute mark, you're not going to see anything, right? You're going to see a Nexus and some gas, and a gateway and a Forge.
True.
It's just same thing with Terran, right? But with Terran, it's actually more important to go a little bit earlier. With Terran, you want to scout, in TVP at least, you want to scout around 6:30, 6:45.
And for Zerg, usually against Terran, you want to get just a Zergling up the ramp. Will tell you quite a bit, too, as to the build.
Yep.
And here it is. It looks like Sheth is going to try to destroy the assimilator. He will actually maybe get the sentry. No, he will not. The funny thing here is if that assimilator was an extractor or a refinery, it would have been dead already.
Yeah, he definitely would have killed it. I don't know, man. Protoss, they have advanced engineering. Their architects make super strong buildings. They're unkillable.
the foundation is quite strong.
Only their mining buildings for some reason.
Yeah.
And only Protoss.
I honestly feel like if some Blizzard test developers or balancers, whoever it may be, had a chance to look at this and realize that the assimilator does have double HP, I think they would probably change it.
I'm sure they know. How could they not know?
Maybe they just forgot.
I mean,
It's a 900 HP building.
it's like the Lost. I mean, it also does give the Protoss that option for a really effective gas steal as well.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something that they want in the game as part of the balance or something.
Well, here comes that Overlord, as you mentioned, around the 7-8 minute mark, and it will go in there. And it's going to see the gateways, but it won't see the Robo, which is actually making a Warp Prism, but Kiwikaki is supply blocked.
Ouch. That's a really hard supply block at 52. Turns out Sheth is also supply blocked after losing the Overlord. But I think hurting Kiwikaki much more. And ooh, it looks like he threw down a support or a robotics bay there for a second. And then stop. And there it goes up again. And Sheth here harassing the front might be able to take out one of these assimilators.
I think
nice
he will.
work from Sheth right there, just picking and clawing away at the natural, doing whatever damage he can. And we do have a Robo Bay going up with the Warp Prism coming out. So I think Kiwikaki probably going to go for Warp Prism speed here or super early Colossus. Those are really the two options. And he does have these sentries out, and it looks like he's going to pack up those sentries and head over to Sheth's base. Now, Sheth has Overlords in position here, pretty much, and a Zergling as well. So I really don't see this getting in unscouted. And there we go. The Warp Prism already gets sniffed out by that first Overlord. So Sheth's going to be all over this. And if we look at Sheth's base, he's got a ton of Lings there ready. He's got a Spore Crawler that he's relocating that's going to ward that off. So great work from Sheth thus far holding this off.
Yeah, this isn't going to do anything, and I don't know if this Warp Prism really wants to be here right now. He immediately cancels and runs away. All the sentries intact. The Zealots were canceled, so he gets the funds recuperated, but that was certainly a bit of a risky spot for the Warp Prism to be at, and Kiwikaki realizes that he will retreat. It still has value towards the middle and the late game because it's a mobile pylon. It's a dropship, essentially, so you can do a lot of things with it, and he keeps it alive.
Yeah, a lot of Protoss players have actually been using the Warp Prism as a forward pylon to follow their army around and continually reinforce during battles. And here we have a lot of Zerglings coming in for Sheth. Sheth backing off right there. I'm not sure why. I think he had more than enough, even with the +1 Zealots, to just kill all those units outright. And he certainly had an opportunity to kill a few sentries. Not sure why he backed off right there, but he does have his Spire up now, and we do have 7 Mutalisks on the way. So Sheth going to go with a Ling Muta style this game.
Yeah, interesting.
Changing things up quite a bit from the previous games.
I'm a big proponent of Ling Muta versus Protoss. I tried it out a lot against Protoss in ladder. Not having quite as much success, but the thing about Mutas is it gives you a lot of map control. You can harass a Protoss in and out, and that's something you can't really do if you go for the more traditional Roach Hydra Corruptor strategy or Ling Infestor. But Ling Muta really gives you a lot more mobility. It's the most mobile way to really go. Why go on the ground when you can go in the sky? And
well, the only problem with Ling Muta is that you're pretty much forcing the game into some sort of a base race situation. You're not ever going to be able to win a straight-up conflict. So it's all about waiting for the Protoss to move out and then backstabbing and finding windows of opportunity to get in there and attack the production, get into their main. And we've seen this a lot. So for the Protoss, and there goes that Warp Prism. Oh, wow, that Warp Prism. Is there a Colossus in there?
I don't know. It could have been.
Oh my goodness. I think we totally missed that. Sorry about that, guys. Now, these Mutas are going to go in and try and harass the main here. While harassing the third, he's breaking down these destructible rocks. Going to try and sneak in there at the third and do some damage, but Kiwikaki does have some stalkers in position at the main, and he's also getting some cannons up. He doesn't have Blink yet, though.
Yeah, and it looks like the Zerglings will break through the rocks. The third here is pretty well covered by cannons, but, if all these Zerglings get through, and they do have 1-0 in terms of upgrades, and we'll get 2-1 pretty soon here. If they break through here, I think they could do a lot of damage. Kiwikaki's going to need to warp in right now if he wants to hold the third, and he's got to hold it. Warps in a Zealot, that's not going to be enough. A couple of Zealots, he's got to bring his main army back. There's the Colossus. They are lasering those Zerglings apart, but some workers are starting to go down. Not that many, though. You'd think a lot more would have died there, but, only 7 total this game.
Well, I mean, there was a lot of buffer for Sheth to work through. He had to kill those cannons, he had to kill the zealots, and that bought Kiwikaki enough time to get the majority of his army there.
Yeah, and the mutas are actually still here. They're trying to do a little bit of cleanup duty. They get 2 more workers. Not worth it if a muta dies, and it doesn't look like either of them go down. So the mutas will fly away. And right now we actually have Sheth on super macro mode. He's at the gold. He's grabbing the bottom right expansion. He is ahead in a major way right now.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of bases.
Yeah, he's on 5 base right now, and look at him dropping all those spine crawlers in mid. This is standard if you're going to go Ling Muta like this. You have to get a ton of spine crawlers in the middle of the map at your forwardmost expansion, and then try and use the mobility of the Lings and the Mutas to continually harass the Protoss main and third. And it's all about how well Kiwikaki can defend. And here we have him blinking all of his Blink Stalkers up into the main, and he's going to hold off these Mutalisks without taking that much damage. Only a few probes going down there.
Well, you're right. Only about 4 or 5 probes, so not too many worker kills so far. It's surprising. You'd think Sheth would do a lot more. But it almost seems like you said, Sheth is just waiting for the Protoss army to move out, and then he's going to go for that kind of a backstab play. He's got 2-1 in terms of upgrades. It's a lot of upgrades for Zerglings right now. I'd imagine Hive might be coming up soon as well to finish off the Zergling Adrenal Glands at 3-3. But here's the X factor for Kiwikaki. He is about to get Storm, and one of the best ways to deal with Ling Muta, Storm and Archons.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just read it.
Oh, and here we have Sheth bombing in on the third, going after the Colossus here. He's going to get number 1, going after Colossus number 2. It looks like he's actually going to get that as well. And is he going to get the third Colossus? He's starting to work that down with the Mutalisks. He'll get the third Colossus as well. So all the Colossus go down right there. He loses a ton of Lings, but that's a worthy trade, I think, for Sheth to get rid of all those Colossus. So
I agree with you.
In the eventual big fight, he's down 3 Colossus. I mean, that's so much to lose right there for Kiwikaki.
Yeah, those Colossus are really the backbone of the Protoss army. It's like their skeleton cord. I mean, now you've just severed the cord, and it's going to be much more difficult for Kiwikaki to fight without that Colossus artillery support. I feel like right now Sheth has a big advantage. He didn't really lose that many mutas in that exchange, it doesn't look like. And
it's impossible to fight without your skeleton cord.
It's impossible to fight without the skeleton cord. The head has been severed from the limbs. And here comes the mutas once again. They're going to go into the main. Big opening
Nothing
here.
there.
Just a couple of cannons. And unless Kiwi warps in something now.
Oh, Kiwi's moving out. He's moving out with everything.
Uh-oh.
All the mutas are in the main, and the Lings are backstabbing towards the third. He's probably going to head into the natural here. There's a lot of defense there at the third.
Wow.
And here we go. It looks like Kiwikaki's actually going to go for the base trade here, giving up his entire main. There's a ton of spine crawlers and a couple of units from Sheth here waiting at the gold. It's going to be very tough for Kiwikaki to break through that. Sheth pouncing on the opportune moment right there for the base trade.
Yeah.
And these spine crawlers just going to kill a ton of units right here. Who's going to win this base trade? Only time will tell, but I think Sheth is in the better position right now.
Well, here's the thing. If you're going to go into a base trade situation...
God.
Oh, my God!
Oh, God. Oh, dear
A lot
God.
of mutas just biting the dust right now. That's not good for Sheth, but still, I reiterate, I feel like if you're going to go into a base trade situation, these spine crawlers, while they are getting whittled down right now, are going to be money. The spine crawlers will delay what is essentially a race to the finish, and if you're in a situation where you've got to kill off all your opponent's structures, more crawlers coming up. These crawlers are going to make it damn near impossible for Kiwikaki to finish off that race.
Yeah, I agree. The crawlers at the natural are really just going to slow things down, and that will preserve Sheth's main and his natural. And keep in mind, Sheth has that 5th, and he still hasn't lost the gold yet. So he's still got the gold. Well, it's not mining right now, but he still has the hatchery, and he's got the 5th over there in the bottom right-hand corner. So he can continue to macro, continue to make units, and he's killed all of Kiwikaki's production and most of his pylons as well.
Yeah, and now he's trying to poke into the front, but that's not going to happen. There's way too many crawlers here. Mission impossible for Kiwikaki. He's going to have to pull out. Now, he might find solace in the fact that he can kill off the gold, but I don't think he realizes about the hatchery down here. So effectively, even if he kills the gold off, it's going to be 3 base to 1 base, and that's not good. Storm's going down. He will kill off the Zerglings, but here comes the mutas. Kiwikaki is going to lose this game, and this series is going to be tied up with Sheth at 2, Kiwi at 2, here at Fight Club. Game 5 coming up right after this, as soon as Kiwi GG's, and I would expect one coming out right now.
Yeah, there's really no way for Kiwikaki to win this game. He has 4 stalkers remaining, and he doesn't
There it
even
is.
know about that 5th base.